Hello everybody, Skiff here. Welcome back to another episode of, or I might just tag this onto the end of, I don't know. But if I haven't, welcome back to episode of The Darkness Within Part 2. So I managed to redo everything in a matter of minutes. What took me almost over an hour. It took me like 5-10 minutes when I knew what I was doing. So I did all of that. I've tried to get him to decipher pages. No matter what I do, I can't seem to get him to do it. So I'm wondering, did I not look at everything good enough, or because basically we need him to decipher the pages for this monstrosity. Oh, where is it? I saw it. It said, there we go, examine. Okay. It's old. Yep, we knew that. I don't know what the machinage is for. It's in the book. We need to get him to look at the book and decipher and tell us what to do. And we have the phonograph here as well. And for some reason, these still sound terrible. Just horrible for the ears. I'm gonna guess that the gasoline is for this thing. Normally you can tell when something's supposed to be used with it because it will flash. It's not flashing. Also, I now have a map. So I can do this. Take me back to the bookstore. We're going to see if, now that we've looked at the machinery again, I don't know, either it will pop up as an option, or if I've got a big brain moment that goes, oh, I can put this with that. Maybe. I don't know. So hopefully I need him to decipher a page for me, it would seem. And this is all I get, but apparently you're supposed to be able to come back and he'll just decipher the page that you need. Thanks, for Henry. You.
I have to go now.
And I can't figure out what I'm supposed to do. Like, I've tried. Nope, it doesn't flash. Nothing. Try clicking on him with it. Nothing. Because I need. And I've tried using the book as well. Again, it's not flashing. And it's getting a little bit frustrating because I've had to look it up and it just says, okay, here. Ask Henry about his process. He'll give you the table of contents. Then ask him to decipher the part about the speaking machines. And it's like, that never came up as an option. Leave and come back to obtain the speaking machines document, but it won't even let me ask him to do it. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I've tried looking it up under different things and they're even more vague than that. Looks like a big power generator. What could its purpose be? It looks old. So it's not doing it now, but it basically just went, oh wait, this machine. Didn't I see that in the book? I should go and ask Henry to decipher the pages about it. Oh, you can't see me rolling my eyes, but I'm rolling my eyes. It's slightly frustrating because I already came and stared at it and clicked on everything and it didn't play that one bit of dialogue that I needed. Wee, speak. Ah! Don't mind me, I'm just knocking my phone off its stand. Okay, so
Can you translate the part about the speaking machine?
Okay, give me some time.
Can't believe we're just asking a complete stranger to, like, well, he probably doesn't realize. He's just like, oh, this guy is into his history and stuff, but really, oh, I see. We know very little about Henry. How do we know that he's not in on it?
How's it going?
All done. Here you are.
Thanks, Henry. Cool. Okay, so we're back. We're back in the game now. We know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. We got this. Of the... Oh, wow, there's 5 clues. Okay. Of the machines. Speaking machines. There are mechanisms called speaking machines due to their particular operation. No one knows who invented them or when they were created. But we do know from the writings of early alchemists and demonologists that they are used for conjuration, and some are even used to communicate with the entity conjured. It is possible that some cultists and organizations still possess these machines. There are 2 types of machine. 1. The type used only for conjuration. These machines cannot enable the conjurer to speak with the entity being conjured. However, the voice of the conjured can be heard and recorded with a cylinder phonograph. It is thought by some mystics that these machines are only man-made copies of antediluvial ones, present long ago before the first humans ever walked the planet. These machines still exist and are secretly used by some cults. It works with special remnants, salts, of those you want to summon from beyond. These remnants should be put into a metallic capsule hidden in a secret compartment on the machine. Under the cover of this compartment there lies a locking mechanism. You must enter the necessary code to reach the capsule itself. Then after you put the capsule back into the machine, adjust the sliders on the little device that filters and decreases the background noise for you to hear the sound of the one summoned. Turn the device on and try to decrease the level of background noise as much as possible. The rest is easy. The last thing you must do is connect electricity to the machine and it will start to operate automatically. You should provide electricity only after you have done the previous steps, or else the seance will be a failure. 2. The original machines. There are only a few references to these ancient machines in the major works of alchemy and demonology. Each reference regards these machines as horrifying demonic devices that connect the conjurer to hell. A few demonologists claim they have used them, but none have ever explained their operation in detail, leaving very little actually known about them. It is written that they work with an energy source unknown to humankind. There are no records of any such machines still in existence. Okay, so now we've got to try and find some clues. I'm sorry, but that is of interest. The deciphered part says the machines work with something called special remnants of the ones you intend to speak to. Capsule hidden in a secret compartment. It should be a metal capsule that would be filled with the remnants of one you intend to summon. Okay, so the noise level should be decreased. You should provide electricity only after the previous steps. I'd say that's pretty good. According to the deciphered part, electricity should be provided to the machine when the previous step is completed successfully. Necessary code? It's the only other thing. Yeah, code to... so there's a code I must find in order to run the machine. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? Alright, so I got... Oh, excuse me. 5 of 5. I'm gonna go back to the house. Gonna go to the underground galleries. Oh, excuse me. I don't know why I was suddenly... Oh, excuse you. Alright, you're gonna be like that? In your face, you stupid bugs. Take this off. Because I can't see enough. Well, that's a different colour. And I know it sounds going to be the same kind of resurrection machine. Because this was being a pain. So you need to try and get it all in the green. But like it just constantly keeps moving. Finally got it.
This machine
That damned tool of the demon. It is a damned connection to the other world.
But there's nothing to worry about if you
There is
know.
nothing to worry about if you know how to use it. If you look carefully, you will notice a cover on the front side of the machine, right under the window. When you open it, you will see a locking mechanism that protects the most important part of the machine, the carrier capsule and the mixer parts. The capsule is the part for the remnants of the one you are seeking to summon from beyond. Put what you have inside it. The mixer part must be blended with some other things precisely. And the code of this particular machine
Pencil.
is 51637.
637.
If you are trying to summon a long-lost one, it might take longer to get any response. Heed me carefully now. Whatever happens, you must not directly look at the window of the machine after you've summoned something. This could be fatal. Not everyone can withstand what is seen in that window. For at times, you would be looking right into hell itself. I've lost 2 of my assistants because of this. I still can hear the screams of the most useful one in my head, and see his bloodshot eyes when I close my own. I think he will keep on haunting me until I join him.
Cool. Do I have to now put the other one in here? You know what? Let's just have a look at this. And put the code in. So it was... Cool. 51637. Yep. Okay. There's a hole here where something can be inserted. That's what he said. Cool. Okay. We want an empty metallic inside. No, we want the one with the guy's ashes. This one? Ashes of long dead. Yep. I don't think I can use this here. Psh, fine. Let's try this thing. It smells funky. I can't put an empty capsule here. Oh, hang on. No. Big brain moment. Ashes. Capsule. I put the ashes in the capsule. Okie dokie. So now I want this to go in here. Including the books, I should insert the capsule with the ashes into this tray. Cool. Now what do I do? Do I go back over to this thing? Okay. Well, I think I figured out how to kind of do that puzzle.
With the help of my assistants, I will record some experiments on this cylinder to help us consummate the sound devices on the machine.
Sounds pretty messed up. Cool. Do I now have to turn this thing on? It's out of fuel, isn't it? We did have some fuel. Said don't look in there. Why are you looking? Well, we're already kind of insane, aren't we? So... Whoa, that's bright. Of all the things I've seen, a slightly decomposed face terrifies you. Okie dokie. Ooh. Okay, so we're back upstairs. How did we get upstairs? How did I get up here by myself, or did someone carry me? All I remember was seeing a deformed figure in the window of the machine. Did it really work? Did I summon the long-dead Wolfgang Schneider, as written in the letter? Or am I seeing things? Cool. So I summoned him, but I didn't get to do anything. I've given myself like a couple of little points for in case I get lost, so I don't waste so much time. Apparently there was something right here that I should have seen. How are you supposed to see that? Honestly. Who could have left this note here? Ooh. It's in German. I can't read German. I can't read it. I don't speak German. Get the bookstore. See if he can translate it for us. Oh, wait, no, he's here. Speak.
Can you read this, Henry?
Let me take a look. Yes, this is in German. It says, "Go, don't ever come back, go to the gate."
Gate?
Sounds very familiar to me.
How does that sound familiar?
I once had a customer who came here every week to pick up some books he'd ordered. He was not very talkative and often looked lost in his own thoughts, but I remember he often called the place he lives the Gate. Later I learned that he lived in that cursed mansion that stands alone, far off in the wilderness.
Do you know his name?
I don't really remember. He stopped coming here a long time ago. He was an old man. He could have passed away.
What can you tell me about him?
I wonder if he's the professor.
As I said, he often looked very deep in thought. When I went down to the cellar to get his order, I could often hear him talking to himself. He was old, but I always thought he was younger than he looked. I never saw him around except the times he came for his orders. Jacob could probably tell you more about him. His father worked there as a servant. Jacob lives in the old White House right in front of the Howling Wolf statue. You can't miss it.
Okay.
What kind of books did he usually order?
Most of them were about magic, astrology, occultism, and demonology. And I remember those books were very hard to get. Sometimes it took weeks to find a particular one. Some of them were written in languages I'd never even seen before.
Why did you call that mansion cursed?
Just out of habit, really. Around here, everybody calls it that because of their primitive superstitions. I don't actually believe them myself.
Thanks for the info, Henry.
Thank you, Henry. Henry's being very helpful. We appreciate Henry. This one? Must be a house Henry mentioned. Knock, knock. Let me in.
Shh. You can speak freely now.
Hello, my name is Howard. I'm here because Henry Lawrence told me you could help me with a special matter.
What matter is that?
Do you recognize the name The Gate?
I had a feeling you were going to ask that. Your voice, your eyes, those burning bright eyes. You look exactly like him.
Who?
Him. He told me about you once. How you would come cannot go against it.
He's given me Diablo 2 vibes. Oh, I can't remember the guy's name. The one that in all the cutscenes is in the asylum sitting on the floor or talking to who you think is the priest or the hero, but turns out it's Baal. But yeah, he's given me asylum vibes here.
I think you're confusing me with someone else. I don't understand what you're talking about. Who is he?
Mr. Nathaniel. He was the one who called you beyond time. He learned that if he appealed to Yog-Sothoth, someone from his own bloodline would one day come back. I was only a child, but I remember everything. I remember what they did under that damn place. I can see him in your eyes. And there was that other child. He was not human. He looked exactly like one, and they treated him like one. But I could tell he wasn't human at all. No human child can speak with the knowledge of the darkest abysses like him. None can speak about the heathen arcane knowledge of the darkest ages, which availed from the eyes of simple men like us.
Creepy children, mate. I get it.
If you heard him, then you would understand me. But yet, all that is also in you. You will soon remember. Everything will come back to you. Every memory. Silently, I listened to his muffled voice as he screamed, growled, jumped and crashed around at night under the ground.
What child?
The child Mr. Nathaniel was told to take in. He took him into his home, despite strong opposition from Mrs. Ingrid, his wife. During the early days, the child often suffered serious seizures, and they had to lock him up after he murdered a maid.
Ooh,
It was horrible.
that's not very
That was
good.
the time Mr. Nathaniel fired all the maids and servants except my father, since he'd been with him for a long time and knew many secrets. Then they gave the boy something to make him calm. It seemed like he forgot what he knew. And after that, he grew up in that house like a normal child. Until one day, when he left the house to go elsewhere.
It's like
I don't know
Damien
where he went,
vibes.
but I was told he would come back when the right time came. I know he is also here. I can feel him.
Who told him to take the child in?
I don't know. It was so sudden. One particularly stormy night, a stranger came with that child. He was a tall and dangerous-looking man. All the servants were frightened of him at first sight. Yet he himself seemed afraid of the child. I listened to their conversation and learned that he could hardly speak our language. So he spoke with Mr. Nathaniel in a language that only he seemed to know. Only 2 days later did we really discover why he came. He'd brought the child from a distant place for Mr. Nathaniel to raise, and he accepted the boy in without hesitation. But he never explained why he agreed to do it.
Because it's part of a cult.
What do you mean, Mr. Nathaniel called me beyond time?
They needed a blood descendant, but only such a person can do what they require. Mr. Nathaniel, he could speak with his ancestors. Or maybe the opposite was true. They told him to call you, and so he did. He somehow learned strange languages he never even knew existed. And with this knowledge, he read forbidden books gathered from around the world. Passages about summoning beyond time. Those fiendish necromantic murmurings and chants.
So he called to me in the future but somehow I'll regain all the memories, so... Okay. Okay, yeah, I think I'm... Yeah, sorry, it was kind of confusing me a little bit. Anywho.
He is completely mad, but I must get some answers. Can you tell me about the gate?
It is the building nestled over the Black Abyss. You should have remembered it by now. But it seems it is still not clear for you. You will remember soon.
Why did Mrs. Ingrid want to escape?
I'm not sure, but I think she saw something terrible. She knew a lot about the things her husband was interested in doing. But after the child incident, she started to hate him, though she stayed by his side. After a while, the situation began to change and got more serious. And that's when the secret meetings began. She hated it all, both the meetings and those who attended them. And one day, it seemed she couldn't take it anymore and ran away. But Mr. Nathaniel's friends forced him to take her back and lock her up. They saw Mrs. Ingrid as a threat who might reveal secrets about them. He had to do as they instructed, but he wasn't happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by Black Abyss?
That place is built upon a web of underground passages that lead to Gehenna. That's why they call it the Gate. It is the gate to the unlit hell beneath the surface that hides unimaginable secrets from our eyes.
Sorry, I'm trying to put different things together in my head. So...
How did this Mr. Nathaniel learn such an appeal?
He learned it from Jediah, a shadow from his own lineage, from your lineage.
Who is this Jediah?
I don't know. I only know his name, and that he was from Nathaniel's bloodline. I once read in one of the books that even if you kill the physical body of some people, it doesn't mean they're really dead and will disappear from this world. They can find a way to come back, and then silently wait for their time to come.
How can you know this much about me?
Mr. Nathaniel told me some things, but I learned most of what I know from eavesdropping and secretly reading the same things he read.
How do you know how to
Only the
read
ones
them?
in English, of course.
Okay.
He had some friends who shared the same interests as him. When they gathered, and the incense was heavy in the air, it was easy to listen in on their excited conversations. They often talked about you, and some others who are like you. And there were other things that I wouldn't have understood unless I'd read some of the books. His wife, that poor woman, hated his friends and the topics they spoke about in those heathen meetings. Once, she tried to escape, but he brought her back and locked her up in her room. She died there. But he was not like that originally. The only mistake he made was moving into that house of his ancestors after he married. But maybe it was a fate he could not fight against.
He seems completely mad. But somehow, I get the feeling his words weren't just crazed ramblings or the wild imagination of a madman.
That was a massive info dump there. Cool. Okay. How do I get out? Let me out. Wanna go? Can't see anything. Pull your... There we go. he there last time? I don't remember.
I heard some unpleasant rumors about a mansion outside of town. What can you tell me about it?
It's out in the wilderness, about 30 miles from here. I've never been there, but I remember an incident that occurred right here in this inn. I was just a kid at the time. One night, an old woman with a dark veil covering most of her face came from that house and stayed here a short while, until she was forcefully taken back by a group of old men with fake beards. Nobody knows who they were, but it was obvious she had secretly escaped from them. I think she was waiting for the train to take her away from here. But they took her back against her will.
And nobody thought to help her. Okay.
But I remember it like it was yesterday. When she saw them, she shrieked with fear. Some words were in Latin, I think. We never heard of her again. I've also heard some very bad stories about barbaric rites that take place at particular times of the year. That's why nobody wants to visit that house. It's empty now, but most of the people are afraid even to go too near it anymore.
Very interesting. What room did the lady from that mansion stay in?
My room.
I can't remember precisely,
Ah.
but she stayed in one of the rooms on the first floor.
Where can I find this Herbert?
Herbert? Who's Herbert?
You're in luck. He's right back there, eating alone.
Wait a minute.
Thanks.
Who's Herbert?
If
Where
you
did that
want,
come from?
I can speak with Herbert for you. He doesn't like to speak with strangers, but I'm sure I can persuade him.
That would be great.
Who is Herbert? What does Herbert have to do with anything? Oh, wait. Was Herbert the guy that we just went... No, that was Jacob. Who the hell is Herbert? I was going to ask him some more. Oh, okay. Nope, it's a cutscene. Well... Oh no. This place. I remember it vaguely. I visited here several times when I was a child. Were you the creepy demon child? Oh, wait. I can. Oh, no, I can't. This is my grandfather's house. I never liked it here. Is this the place I'm searching for? What is the connection between these strange experiences and my family? I need to figure out what is happening. Oh. Pull back the veil. Creepy house. Creepy house. Time to check out the creepy house. Examine. Ivy climbing the old and crumbling walls of this desolate place. Do I just go in? No, we're gonna have a look around first. Okay, so that doesn't open, that's fine. There are stairs here that lead to another door. What was this? Yep, okay, we already know that. There's a cellar. There's a door here that... I don't want to go opening doors yet, in case. Examine. This is the door to the cellar. It's locked, but the lock seems weak from rust, so we're probably going to be breaking that off with some effort. I think I could break the lock easily. Mausoleum, maybe? Something on the floor. Ooh, take the shovel, thank you. Ooh, is that blood? Ooh. No, this is a creepy well. What's the well girl's name? Oh. The cover on the well is locked and there is a strange mechanism here. I've never seen this cover before. When I was last here, there was a simple metallic cover on the lid. Why would someone want to change the cover of a disused well? To stop kids from falling in. Or to stop the ring girl from getting out. Try the side door first, but we're going to have to use the shovel on the cellar. It's locked. Back downstairs. I don't appreciate this creepy music. That should work. Great, I managed to break the lock. I'm a genius. Down in the dumps, into the mansion. Alright, I want to see if I can... if my torch is going to work better here. Yes. I've also noticed that switching between the torch and the... what you call it? The lantern thing. Can change my expression because of the buttons that they are all assigned to. Thank you. But you... don't you me. Do as you're told. Because there is a door over here. And I'm determined to get to said door. Shush. Yeah, open. Open. Why won't you open? Okay. The lock is broken. I can't open it. Do I have to move this stupid thing out of the way even more? Why won't you open? It was a pull door. Thank you. Oh my god, that scared the shit out of me. I froze in fear. I thought it was a bed because I was just not paying attention to the shape of it, and I was like, oh, what's this under the bed? Okay, so it's a generator, bike, shelves, dark creepy hallway, broken off door, and a lamp. Okay, is that supposed to be a light switch? I'm gonna go and turn the generator. I beg your pardon. Okay, let's turn the generator on. Taking some gas in it. The generator should work now. I would hope so. Oh, that's nicer. Having lights. Yet there's no lights in here. Why are there no lights in here? Why does it sound like this creepy background static noise? Don't be closing doors behind me. Thank you very kindly. Just trying to look at everything. This is... why is there an unk in there? Crouch. I said crouch. Take the unk. Wine cellar. The lock is broken. I can't open it. The lock is broken. I can't open it. Okay. Examine. Smells like laboratory here. I think these bottles contain chemical substances. Q. Can't push and pull that. I got the unk already. That's a table clock. I've opened that. You can push pull that. Nothing else. La 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 la. Ooh, stairs. Sneaky. Hiding in the dark. It smells strange here. Oh, I know this smell. It is Harmel. What the hell is Harmel? What's this? It's a strong Harmel smell in the air. Harmel is a plant that has entheogenic properties. It is used in some regions of the world as an air and mind purifier. Okay. So that's from where I came. Okay, I'm into the kitchen. We look at everything. Old stove covered with the rust of passing years. Okay, got a window. It's so dirty and smells of rotten food. After all these years, it's odd that the smell is still this strong. Oh, a key. Take that. General doors of the mansion. Awesome, thank you. Examine a small pot with a lot of incense sticks in it. They are filling the air with the sweet smell of Harmel. Does that mean they're lit? So we got 1, 2, 3 doors. We got a fridge. Examine. Oh, the smell is unbearable. Everything in here must be rotten. Okay, close that. Okay. Let's crouch, have a look. So dirty and smells of rotten food. Yep, that's cool. That can close. I can't open any of those. Open that. Okay, can't open. I can examine them, but I can't open them. Okay, can't do anything with those. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Nah, we'll start here. It's locked. The key doesn't seem to fit. How weird is that? I did the eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and this was the first door that opened. Well, you can... No, I don't trust you. That doesn't make sense. The lock is broken. Okay, I didn't even see that there was a door here. When I came up the stairs. This must be the front door. It's locked. Okay. Stairs upstairs. There's a lot to look at here. Some old vases. Okay, we're going to go room by room. It's going to take a while. Okay, can't open those. Nothing in there. Oh, oh, drawers. Looks like I can only open the top one. Stand up. It's a torch. I don't need a torch. I've got a torch. Stop with the creepy noises. Okay. Got a clock. I can't do anything to. Table with gross stuff on it. Nothing behind the table. Door that we came in through. Why does everything look like it's covered in blood? Or like scratches? Oh, that's way too bright. Put that away. Crouch. Oh. Why is it so bright? It's locked. This won't work. Why is he screaming at me, mate? I don't know. What did I just say? What did I just say? Whitpoor Will. Whitpoor Wills, the source of some horrible legends, generally nest in the open fields near woods. The bird gets its name off its call, which sounds like Whitpoor Will. Okay. Because the Whitpoor Will's song sounds ethereal and haunting, there are many myths told about them. Some say that the bird can detect upcoming storms, and others believe it is a sign of trouble if one is seen near your house. But a particular bizarre legend claims that the birds can sense the soul of a dying person. Inhabitants of rural areas are often afraid of the Whitpoor Will singing, accepting it as a bad omen. It is commonly believed that if the bird sings near a residence, it is a sign of approaching death. It is also said that when a person is on his deathbed, Whitpoor Wills group together nearby to sing until the person dies. After the soul departs the body, the bird takes flight to try catching it as it leaves. If the soul can escape them, the Whitpoor Wills fall quiet and soon disperse. If the soul can't escape, they sing louder than ever in a triumphant manner. I was going to say that sounds kind of nice, like passing away to ethereal sounding bird song, but the fact that they sing louder when they triumphantly catch a soul, that's a bit yeah, I don't know if I quite like that. Sounds a bit weird. Are you anything? Nope, you are nothing. Okay, so the only thing we have in here is this thing that we're going to have to come back to when we get the right keys. Apparently the key I have is not right. So we're gonna go. What the hell? What's going on? I don't like it. I hardly remember this place. Ooh, shiver. I remember how I ran around in this hall and often fell down when something. I used to stay in one of these rooms when my family visited. I think this is it. Yes, I remember this room very clearly, and it's hardly changed since my childhood. I don't like it. Creepy. The plant is dead. I wanted to explore more. You think I'm getting on that bed? You can do one. These were the flowers I grew, at least what remains of them. It seems there was nothing left alive in this house. I don't even hear any sounds made by insects or mice roaming around. Okay, well I can't touch any of the books. Examine, okay. I doubt I can sit comfortably in this house, but I don't have any choice but to try. No. No. Oh, no. Why would you do that? The amount of dust you'd be breathing in. Ugh. I had the house I wanted to explore. Yes. Are we child Howard, or are we coming up to full height? Is that a teddy bear? I feel that I'm being called again. From that well, something certainly calling my name. Something very old and powerful. I cannot resist it. I have to go. 27 years ago, on Christmas Eve. I am Child Howard. Ooh. Cool. Can I do anything with it? Apparently not. Okay. Do I have a torch or anything? Nope. my drawings. I've drawn my parents and my grandfather. Is that the creepy guy in the middle here? Something wrong with your grandfather. Oh yeah, look, creepy people around the well. Granddad has glowing eyes. Teddy bear! My friend, Crook. Take him with you. Trust me, make you feel better. Make me feel better. This is the library. Grandpa spends most of his time here. It's locked. This is my grandma's room. I better not enter. It's locked. If you think I'm not taking this opportunity to nose around, then you are mistaken. This is when you find the creepy stuff. I can't see anything. I need something to light my way. Where was that other torch? It was in here? He wouldn't open any of the drawers though, so unless there's something in my room that I didn't see. I'll take the candle. Give me my candle. For God's sake. Right click to equip. Oh, for God's sake, just let me use my stupid candle. Thank you. Honestly. Walking straight down the stairs. Weird. This room belongs to my grandfather. He always keeps it locked, whether he's inside or away. I don't want no kid poking around and nosing. It's locked. It's locked. The layout of this house is very strange. Time to enter the creepy well. I'm a child and I wear high heels. Deal with it. Or maybe I'm just wearing clogs, like those wooden ones. What do you want, creepy well? My father said my grandfather installed this cover to prevent me from going in again. I need its key. Why would you make me walk all the way out here to make me walk all the way back inside? It's so frustrating. Where would the key be? If it was put on there to keep us safe, then surely the adults would keep it on them. I'm probably thinking too logically about this. Pigeons! Excuse me while I get rid of the creepy pigeons trying to get into my window. Okay, creepy pigeons averted. I meant to go in that one. If I was a key, where would I be? Would I be in the basement? The cellar is locked, as usual. Well, you wouldn't let me... Maybe I need to go back up into the library. Because that's one of the few rooms. He said his grandma room and that room. The library. Everything else is like, it's locked. I'd better not enter. This is the library. Grandpa spends most of his time here. Okay. Something in my eye. This is Grandma's room. Cool. Where's the key gonna be then, buddy? Where would Gramps put the key? I'm not just going to leave it sitting around somewhere where you could get it, are they? And if they are, then they're very irresponsible adults. Examine. I remember this fireplace very well. Good for you. I used to lay down in front of it and fall asleep till someone came and woke me up. Okay, saying open, but it won't let me do anything. The cellar is locked. Oh wait, it's in this thing, isn't it? It's gonna be in this thing? Because that's the smart place to put it. When you get a child who's just getting into everything. And a child who for some reason keeps, like, I wouldn't say has a death wish, but keeps trying to jump down a well. I know where we'll put the key. Let's put it in a spot he can easily reach and accessible and where he knows all the keys are kept. Not let's keep it in the parents' room, or in Grandma's room, or in Granddad's room. Somewhere where it's safe, where he can't get to it. No, we'll put it in the safest, easiest accessible spot there is. The cover that prevented me from entering has been removed now. Great. Down. Oh, it's a cutscene. Down the creepy. Ew. Look down, Howard. I can see the sheriff. You mean Cthulhu? That's not Cthulhu. Is that supposed to be our grandfather, the creepy guy looking down at us? Yes, look at the eldritch horror child. In which case, why would you put a lock on it in the first place if you want them to look at it? Family secrets. I had to turn the brightness up, but jeez Louise. It is way too bright in here. Okay, none of those open. Can't look at any of that. Ooh, you open. Oh, thank you. A black mirror prepared in a human head shape. Cool. Ooh. Examine. These books seem so old. I see a lot of strange titles like, can't pronounce that, something or other shamanism, the book of pronunciation of Zeus from the book of Henim bin Frazar, the List of Schools. Something Coulton, and some others with names I can't even pronounce. I can't even pronounce those ones, mate, so I think you're doing pretty good. Nope. Dead plant. You can move. Yep, just... Okay. Examine. Ooh. Since the day I unwillingly attended that unspeakable ceremony that eternally cursed my soul, I felt like I have no power in me anymore. Even the horrible atmosphere was enough to crush my soul. But seeing him was too much for me, even though he was disguised as a human. They called him Nyarlathotep? And he came through the big, shining, evenly cut crystal stone with many faces in exchange for human sacrifices. Their screams, like a window, was open to hell, and I could hear the suffering souls under torment. I clasped my ears with my shivering hands. I tried to cover them so tightly that no sound would reach me anymore. For a while there was complete silence, a mockingly brief moment of relief. But then I started to hear strange, evil music played with flutes accompanied by dim rumbling of unseen drums. Though I was still tightly closing my ears. Oh, okay, I read that wrong. This music sent chills down my spine, and that's when he came suddenly, like an earthquake, like a storm. Just one look at his triumphant face was enough to leave eternal wounds on my soul. Yes, he was in human guise, but his countenance betrayed the lies behind that mocking mask he wore. But no, I am deeply grateful for that mask. I don't know what would have happened to me if he had appeared in any other forms he could take shape in. Clues. Alright, let's try his name. Yeah. I remember something about this name and the ceremony of summoning. If memory serves, 10 years ago when I was still a police officer, I was looking at some old records and came across a strange case about a cult named Starry Wisdom that accompanied something. They were using a crystal stone to summon a creature from beyond, and it was said that this creature would only come in exchange for many sacrifices. God, you have to read that quickly. Cool. It looks like part of a map with coordinates on it, but it is severely damaged. There's the skull. An old human skull. The jaw is tied to the skull with a rope. Nice. A page from an almanac. Cool. Crouch. Open. Can't open any of the other drawers? Okay. Well, we got... Since the child came, I don't feel right. Indeed, I'm very afraid of him, but I had to take him in because Jedediah ordered me to. I'm giving him exactly what his caretaker instructed, but it is still ineffective. Yesterday he killed one of the maids, a young lady named Alice, during a severe seizure. It was horrible to see. I think I shall have to lock him up somewhere he can't get out of. He's too ferocious, wild, and evil. Nevertheless, he is semi-human. In essence, he is one of them, an offspring of the ancient race. Yet locking him up will be a necessity when Ingrid comes back from the hospital anyway, because she shouldn't see him. Okay, Alice? Killed a lady named Alice? Nope. Jedediah ordered me to? Nope. Lock him up somewhere he can't get out of. Okay, he can't escape from. Semi-human? The child is not human. Okay, back out from there. Ah! Coming in this room. Oh, door right in the face. Shh. Oh, so this whole thing is Grandma's room. Okay, we will start in here then. Wow, why is it so bright? Examine. There are times when even the howlings of the fearful siren are not enough to affect one. And there are such times when even the weathered moon that is hidden behind a cloud can affect and shatter a life which is in the darkest of a cave. Illusions of myth that are illusions of myth that are long forgotten affect and dominate the imagination unexpectedly. Thus, some people imagine primordial forests in which thousands of unknown life forms are living, dark cities where life ended eons ago, and deserts where the highest tower of those dark cities are now no more than simple pieces of rock revealing only very tiny portions, like the tip of an iceberg. They wander in vast crypts which are full of the permanent smell of death, and in places where one can remember that beauty and splendor had once existed, providing that no beauty and splendor can exist forever. Proving that no beauty and splendor can exist forever. I'm not reading very well today, am I? And some folk observe fascinating and dreadful details which others miss, and even if these details are sufficient to make them crazy, who can understand their meaning? But these details are carved into the minds of the ones who deliberately miss them, and in time they change into myth, which in turn induce consternation. Sometimes the past that should be dead shows itself cruelly in instant hallucinations and enchanted dreams. In such situations, a person can only have peace when he forgets everything. The fundamental thing is that really time is the only friend of forgetfulness. Friendships are not eternal. Peace is a luxury which can be obtained through eternal sleep for those who do not have empathy. Edward Pickman. Okie dokie. Strange, this jewelry box is empty. Is it though? There's a secret covering. And there's something so bright that I can't see it. An envelope I found in the jewelry box. Don't do that. I'm kind of grateful. I know this isn't even a scary game, but I'm quite grateful that you can't see my actual face and the weird faces that I'm pulling at the moment whenever something like that happens, and I just sort of like, oh, do you mind? Get out of the way. Oh, shush with your creepy music. Okay, 6 clues, cool. Since I don't have anyone around I can confide in, I've decided to write down some of the things that have begun to gravely concern me about my husband, Nathaniel. Excuse me. We have some honest and nice maids, but of course I cannot talk with them about everything. The first 2 years of our marriage were great. We lived in a small apartment in downtown Wellsmouth, but soon I fell ill. It was nothing serious, but Nathaniel strongly insisted that we followed the advice of the doctors and moved to this house. Convenient. The house had been empty for a long time, about 18 years I think. It was built by Nathaniel's ancestors and his family line has always lived here, but he had never been here before and didn't know much about the place. We learned most of what we did know from some friendly locals of Arkmund, the closest town to this isolated place. But not everyone treated us in a friendly manner there. I always felt a strong hostility towards us, especially from older people. When they looked at me, I felt goosebumps all over my body. Soon I learned the reason for this bizarre animosity. Back then we didn't have any servants. When Nathaniel went to his study, I was all alone, and what I enjoyed most was going down to Arkmund in our car. I loved that old town. It has a strange, mesmerizing aura of long-lost ages and always made me feel like I was in an old medieval village. But the townspeople. Not too long after we arrived, I noticed that their attitudes are as old as the town itself. Most of them were highly pessimistic and superstitious. Some shop owners and the innkeeper told me the truth behind their hatred. They hated Nathaniel's family and even hated outsiders like me who weren't part of the same bloodline. They told me the Loride lineage had always been despised in Arkmund, and this contempt was handed down to each new generation. I heard some tales told that the family I heard some tales told about that family, childishly unbelievable but genuinely frightening tales. When I told Nathaniel about these, he just laughed them off. He said that every uncivilized town has this kind of folklore. He was right, and this should have quelled my concerns, but I still felt that something was deeply wrong. and after a short time my fears were confirmed. Nathaniel started to change. He started to speak in his dreams with someone named Jedediah Lurid, and gradually spent more time in the family tomb. I still don't have even the slightest idea what he was doing in there. I always loathed that building. Just once I went inside, but it creeped me out with all those old coffins of dead people, strange carving of macabre pictures on the wet, mossy walls. At first, I rationalised Nathaniel's new behaviour as simply a belated interest in his heritage, because I'd never heard him say anything about his family until then. But then he started to speak about how some Loraids lived in this house under the veil of a strange secret, how various generations had built and restored the house, even explaining when and why they built that tomb in the garden. Maybe it sounds strange, but I continued to believe that the changes in him were nothing more than a temporary result of his newfound interest in his family history. I had no choice but to hope that when his interest faded, he would return to his normal self, but soon the opposite proved true. As time passed, Nathaniel became more obsessed with his lineage and its dark secrets. I often saw him in the study looking out of the window, but lost deep in thought. After a few months, he developed some strange habits, like sleepwalking and speaking to himself. He also started to correspond with strangers. I've never seen the content of the letters, but judging from his reactions when he saw me getting a reply from the mailbox, it's clear there was something special about them. I tried to convince him to see a psychiatrist, but he strongly opposed. He said there was nothing wrong with him, that he was just a man investigating his own past. As a Lurid, he said he was late in taking over his family property, but from now on he would live like a real Lurid. Lurid? I'm saying this different every single time. Lurid? Nah. Around that time our son Williams was born. Despite my concerns, it was the happiest time of my life. Nathaniel even seemed to be going back to normal. I remember he smiled at me for the first time since his sudden change. But after that short period of joy, everything turned upside down again. Among the disturbing things Nathaniel began doing in this house, and still does, I hate the strange meeting with this fellow correspondents most. Those who attend are disgusting beyond words. Their looks, their smells, their use of language, they are completely repulsive. These meetings, which no one other than Nathaniel is allowed to attend, started to be arranged when Williams was 5. In secrecy, sometimes they talk for hours. After William's 5th birthday, Nathaniel changed even more drastically. Sometimes he'd mention distant and unusual places and how he wanted to visit them. It became too upsetting for me to even listen to such childish ravings anymore. I know even if I told him to stop, he wouldn't listen to me, for he is not the same person I married anymore. I cursed the meetings for their drastic change in Nathaniel's mood and behaviour. The visitors poisoned him with their stupid thoughts and beliefs. I don't know what to do anymore. 5 days ago, something awful happened. In the dead of night, a stranger with a little boy showed up here. Strangely, he seemed to know Nathaniel. They spoke for about 3 hours, and then the man left without the child. Then I learned that the boy was brought here to live with us, an unlawful adoption. I don't remember anything after that, as I collapsed suddenly and needed to be hospitalized. I stayed there under surveillance for 4 days. When I came back, neither the child nor the maids were here anymore. Only Chet remained, our oldest servant. When I asked him about the maids, he said they quit, and he didn't know anything about the boy. But I could easily tell he was lying and that he was obligated to do so. I don't know what happened here, but it seems that something went terribly wrong. Nathaniel doesn't speak with me anymore. He is always silent and seems confused, but I know that the boy is still around here somewhere. I can hear him, his screams at night. I haven't written anything in this diary for years. In fact, if it didn't abruptly catch my eye, I wouldn't have remembered it was here. I am not good with remembering anything anymore. Last year I needed to be hospitalized again, but this one was very serious, I think, and I stayed at the hospital for 3 months. Anyway, finding this diary was a fortunate coincidence since yesterday Williams visited us. This is the first time he has come home after graduating from college, and I can't even remember how many years it's been since he went away. How shameful for a mother. But he was not alone. He brought his wife and child, Howard, with him. What a lovely boy he is. It was heartwarming for me to see my grandson. Williams hadn't told us he even got married, but this is not unexpected. I was forced to send him to a school in Wellsmouth at such a very young age. I didn't want him to leave, but I couldn't let Nathaniel and his friends affect him. I was very happy yesterday, but now I've noticed something I didn't then, and it shakes me. Maybe this is stupid, maybe I'm making things up, but I wasn't annoyed by the way Nathaniel looked at Howard. As strange as he'd acted at times, I've never seen him like that before. That glint in his eyes. He didn't take his eyes off Howard for the longest time. At the time I dismissed it as a simple love for his grandchild. That is only logical, of course. But now I suspect it wasn't that at all. That countenance he wore as he gazed on at the child. I can tell it was not affectionate pride in Howard, but something solely wicked in nature. That triumphant look actually was diabolical beyond imagination. I can't take this. Nathaniel is no longer even human. He and his disgusting friends are planning something terrible for Howard. I've got to get away from this cursed house, which I should never come to in the first place. From the first time I saw it, I felt this house was no good, like something ungodly from the past still lives here. I'm going to escape and go to my son's apartment. I must warn him never to come here anymore, neither he nor his family. They are speaking about Howard all the time, some nonsense about summoning him beyond time. There is nothing but madness here. I will also take that shiny metallic thin thing that Nathaniel always wears hanging around his neck. I don't know what it is, but I do know it's important to them, and I will take it with me so he can't find it. I won't let them do any harm to my son and his family. Okay, so now we have clues. So that is definitely something, the shiny metallic thing that Nathaniel always wears. My grandmother wrote that she was a shiny metallic object with her when she tried to escape. So that's going to be hidden in the room. So I'd speak in his dreams. Seems he changed after coming to this house. He is my father. Stranger with a little boy showed up here. She came and told me the same story. Why on earth would someone want to take a child from a stranger? What's so important about this child? Brought his wife and child with him. I don't remember exactly when or how often I came or what I did here, but I visited this place before. There are some hazy memories that have started to come back to me lately, particularly about coming here, but I still don't remember anything in detail. I'm not really sure I want to. Probably for the best. Send him to a boarding school? Probably not. So my father, just like my grandfather, was not aware of the wicked past of the Red family. Oh, I got them all. Okay. That's fine, but I can't remember if it tells you if there's hidden ones or not. I'm trying to remember. There's so much reading there, I've forgotten what I'm doing. Oh, this is still the same room. That's fine. I need something to light my way. Easy. Ah. Cool. What are you willing to examine? I remember this car. Once my grandfather took me out on a trip when we were staying here for a few days and during one of my summer vacations. It looked really good back then. Oddly enough, it looks like it might still work. Maybe I can start it. Open. 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 Close. Take an old rusty screwdriver. Creaking floor panel. That's what was on the floor. An envelope that was hidden in a secret compartment. And a key. Ooh. Creepy key. Let's have a look at the creepy letter. Alright. Welcome home, Howard. Within these pages you will find some secrets about your family that have been hidden from you for a long time. But first let me introduce myself, though I am sure you remember me very well. My name is Nathaniel, your grandfather. I am the one who is responsible for your existence, the one who summoned you beyond time by appealing to a mighty Yog-Sothoth. Because only he has the key to all past, present, and future. I am your father. I vaguely remember him. Anyhow, he was a monster to me when I was a kid. Okay. Now I feel that my time is short. Soon I will be in my final resting place waiting for you. I summoned you because he, Jedediah the Wise, wanted me to do so. He speaks to me in my dreams. I can even hear him in my waking life, and amongst all places I can hear his voice in the tomb most clearly. He is very dangerous, Howard. Be afraid of him, afraid of his wrath. But don't worry, he won't harm you as long as you don't oppose him. You can't destroy or even hinder him. He will exist forever. He wanted your existence because when the time comes, he will need a body, one from his own blood, and that is you, Howard. Oh, that's not very nice. He will possess your body and you will disappear sooner or later, but don't worry, you won't feel any pain. If you're still in control of your facilities, you should prepare the necessary things before it starts. There is an object which acts as a key. You will need it to reach the final destination, the edge of the blackest abyss. It consists of 3 parts. I gave one of them to someone, a trustworthy friend of mine. He will come and meet you in this house to give you the part he possesses. The other 2 will be safe with me. Okay. How is that not interesting, Howard? He's telling you a long dead ancestor of yours is going to come back to possess your body. There's a key. It's written that there is an object that of parts will be used to reach the destination. 2 of the parts are here, but the 3rd was given to someone and will come to meet me here. When you have all the key parts, search for the sacrificial dagger. It's been in the possession of our family for a long time. The Loraids have protected it and kept it hidden. This is really something to be proud of. I'm sure you won't have any problem finding it. Only after acquiring all of these, should you go to the connection, you will remember the entrance after all. I've shown it to you many times. Use the carrier to reach your destination. I wonder what the carrier mechanism is. Down there you will see a lot of unbelievable things, normally hidden from our eyes. Some of them might really scare you. I still can't forget the human guards with non-human heads atop their shoulders. I haven't seen them alive, but I presume you will, so be prepared. You don't have any worry about what will happen after that point. I'm sure you will be possessed completely when you reach this place, because the magic of the ancients is very strong down there. You should be proud of this, Howard. Your body will be used by Jedediah the Wise for the supreme goal that your lineage has strived to realize for ages. Into the tomb. There's a coffin. Okay. Okie dokie. Shush. Apparently, there's something in here that I missed. The creepy room. Happen. Ew. It was a grave mistake to have this cursed thing, the severed monkey paw, brought here from India after all the legends I've heard about it. I can hear it moving in its box at night, and I swear I saw it moving its fingers once. But for some reason I can't get rid of it. I'll hide it for now. It's locked. Oh, wrong button. Open that. Okay, that does nothing. Ah, look, we got crocodile people again. Just like the first one. This must be my grandfather. Oh, that was easy. Nathaniel Lloyd. Lloyd. Examine. Hi, Granddaddy. This must be my grandfather. Nathaniel Lloyd. Cool. Strange. I can't see the object my grandfather was said to be holding when he was buried. Where could it have gone? Or was it stolen? Ah, yes. These two men were talking about stealing some junk from a tomb. Could this be the tomb they meant? I should go find those men. What men? Was that something from a while ago in the inn? Oh no, my name is carved onto this one. Was this spot designed to be mine? Is this the end waiting for me? The madness running through my bloodline. There is no escaping from it. Williams. My father. He left my mother 5 years ago and I didn't know where he was all this time. How could this be happening? And we have crocodile. Oh, God, that's bright. I think a storm has started. Okay. Ooh. Welcome home, Howard. Thanks. Why is it so dark in here? And this does nothing. What the hell? Okay. Her grandfather being creepy. I hear sounds coming from within the walls. It's like there are rats in there. They seem to be moving somewhere below. I should try to follow them. Oh, lovely. I've got nothing against rats, per se. Okay, we've seen that. Rats actually make very good pets. Ah! Okay. There were wood panels here before. I'm sure the rats descended this staircase. I can still hear them squeaking faintly. Down to hell we go. Oh, there's a gate. Okay. Open. Oh, I wish it wouldn't blind me like that. Somebody's coming. Hide, Howard. Hide. There's a little alcove on our left. Just hide. You know, everyone's going to come back and be like, "Rah!" Okay, maybe not.
Welcome, Howard.
Ew, creepy. Ugh. Ew, what's that? Was this a nightmare? I really heard those creatures. They were racing through the walls to the lower parts of the house. I'm sure they were calling me down there to show me something. Showing me the way to some other dark secret of this place. Anyway, I think I heard a sound coming from the house. I better go and investigate. Okay, how are you going to defend yourself if something comes running at you? remember there was no wood floor paneling here before. It was just bare, wet and mossy, with ancient stone steps leading down into the depths that have been laying secretly under the house for what knows how many years. Cool. Are we locked again? Yep, still well. Why would you put the torch away?
Hi, Howard.
Hello.
I know this is shocking, but I am Loth Nolder.
What happened to your eyes, buddy?
It seems impossible to believe, but it's the truth. As you can see, my new body is not in good shape. I am taking something to slow its deterioration, but the worms will have me soon. So listen carefully. Time is very short. We must stop them.
Stop whom?
Don't you remember? I think the drug I gave you was a bit much.
What drug? What are you talking about?
The drug I gave you when I took you out of the asylum. If I hadn't given it to you, you would have been gone for good by now. It was prepared by a very powerful shaman. But I think it prevents you from remembering what happened and who you really are.
This is all nonsense. I don't understand what you're talking about. You told me to come here, and I am here. In the very house of my ancestors. What is the meaning of this? Do you know that my father is lying in that tomb? Can you tell me why he killed himself in there? Why my mother never told me anything about my father? Why I remember things I've never known before? What is happening to me?
You must be calm. I am in a worse condition. I know this seems like nonsense, but it is happening. This world hides secrets that people must never learn. And we are a part of those secrets. Please, calm down and try to understand what I'm about to say to you. I've given you a special drug. You haven't lost your control, have you? So don't be afraid. The drug won't let him possess you too soon, but it won't last long. We must be quick to find the entrance to the sunken city. It is right under this town and its outlying areas.
Sunken City?
The necropolis city of a pre-human reptilian race.
What is your connection to this situation?
As you know, I went on a long journey 5 years ago. During my travels, I sought clues that would give me some insight into my own family history. I visited a lot of places, but I finally found my answers in a primitive forest village. Strangely, the village elders seemed to know me and told me some unbelievable things about my identity. They said I was born in that very village, the son of a European father and a mother they never revealed. Nobody spoke about her, though I persistently asked them. All I learned is that she disappeared from the village after giving birth to me, and it seemed from their tone that they were grateful when she left. I could learn nothing else about my father either, except that he was a civilized man. Apparently, I spent some of my childhood there, under the veil of strange practices and inhuman traditions.
You're not the Damien baby, are you?
I remember them showing and teaching me some horrifying things that fortunately I can't quite remember anymore. But one thing's still clear in my mind. They were constantly telling me that my body was just a vessel, and that someday I would return to them and be filled with true essence.
and through my body. A god, worshipped by the natives, will be summoned. So, in a sense, I am just like you.
You are the Damien baby.
Something that should not be.
What has happened to your body?
It is a long and bizarre story. My body was stolen from me. After I'd stayed at that disgusting village for a while, the elders sent me with a native guide to a nameless ruin in the middle of a jungle so dense it seemed like no human soul had ever set foot in it before us. When we arrived, that traitorous guide pushed me into a deep chamber. They planned this all along. He was not with me, only to guide me there. When I opened my eyes, I was in an enclosure with lavishly carved stone walls. I was tied tight and saw some masked figures sitting around me chanting something. They were not human. Try to imagine this. I was alone with things that were not human. Their constant hissings still reverberate in my ears. They gave me something that made my mind go cloudy. Then, I believe I fainted. I don't know how much time passed, but when I regained consciousness, I was in total darkness. With the smell of damp earth filling my nose, I thought they had buried me alive. But soon, I understood how stupid it was to expect this kind of mercy from them. I managed to get above ground with my bare hands and tried to flee that damned jungle at once. But when I slipped and fell into a small puddle of muddy water, for a moment, I plunged into the scorching pit of madness. The reflection in the water showed that I now inhabited the body that once belonged to my guide.
Why did you take me out of the asylum?
I had to. As I said before, if I didn't, you would have been totally overcome by now. They were planning to eliminate you and take your body for good. But fortunately, I came just at the right time.
Oh, excuse
We
me.
now have a chance. I can't make it by myself. They defeated everyone else except you. Look, I am tired and have to get my drug. Let's continue this conversation tomorrow.
That music's loud. Okie dokie guys, I'm going to end this episode here. Thank you very much for hanging around. As usual, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that cool stuff. If you have stuck around, let me know what you think. I seem to sort of start to get on a roll with these games after a little while, but occasionally, I'm not going to lie, I am looking at something just to point me in the right direction if I get a little bit stuck. But nothing wrong with that. But yeah, anywho, comment, let me know what you think. Let me know if you got anything else you want me to play. I have got a list of stuff I'm going to try and get through, and I'll try and get these uploaded as soon as possible. But thank you very much if you stuck around, and hopefully see you when I put up the next video. Okay, bye!